My turn to take the spotlight! Showing you things!
Deflect! Here you are.
Strike a pose!
Silence!
Make yourselves at home! I see everything!
Let the mighty be humble! Bow your head!
Committed to memory! This may turn a little.
Settle down!
Roll!
The tides beckon.
Sharing my knowledge! Committed to memory! I
Silence!
see everything! The Temple of Wisdom!
Flicker! Distract!
Take it easy.
Feel free to check the Aquabus map and schedule for details.
funny.
The engineer is still doing a few routine safety checks.
So, Paimon has always wanted to ask. The three—
Yeah, that's right. Callus and Navia are self-explanatory, while Clementine was the name that my—
If you provided the Mora to build the lines, then why isn't there even a Spina di Rosula built all the lines, yet you still—
Well, what I heard is that most of our businesses don't actually use Poisson as a hub, so there was no real reason to build a line straight to Poisson. You are right that it is a bit strange, though. If you've already—
Yeah, that's what Paimon's saying!
Well, it is what it is. You know what my father would— But that would only be the case if he cared about what others thought. My father was always really, from what I've heard, the rights of all the other members of the Spina only went as far as giving him advice or suggestions. And
Huh. Well, that explains why you weren't on the greatest of terms with him.
yeah, because I wouldn't just let him keep getting his way. He was just not very agreeable.
Boss, the boat's ready. We can head.
All right, then. It'll be a while before we get to Poisson. Let's keep talking.
Navia, what was your mother like as a person? Oh, Paimon, sorry. She totally forgot that you mentioned before that she passed away during childbirth, so you probably don't remember her at all.
Oh, that's all right. I've heard many stories about her from the rest of the Spina. They've always said that they were sure we would have gotten along famously. While my papa was stiff like a board, my mother was supposedly super cheerful and funny. Their complementary personalities allowed them to make up for each other's flaws. My father would run the businesses and expand our reach, while my mother would keep the peace and make sure that everyone was happy. Their work made sure that the—
Sounds like they were not just a well-matched couple, but fantastic business partners.
Yeah, but those are just stories and anecdotes after all. It's hard for me to piece together a more complete or But sometimes I'd still look at the Clementine line and wonder, would the Spina and Poisson still be what they are today had my mother survived? Silver once said that a name is a kind of inscription, a way to etch a memory into the world. When given a name, a cold, inanimate object can gain— So I will always associate the line with her in my heart. Over the past few weeks, I've also begun to appreciate how water can take in and hold our most intense feelings and memory. I've lost many beloved people and memories to the sea. Even the fact won't change that they existed in my life and gave me the reason and motive always. But no matter what, I tell myself that I need to keep looking towards the— Besides, I'm the president of Spina di Rosula. I've got to keep my chin up. Ah, we've reached the shore. Let's go. Oh.
Navia, do you think she's doing all right? Okay, Paimon supposes you're right.
Take it easy.
Boss, you're back! Traveler and Paimon, welcome back to Poisson.
Oh, hey! Fancy seeing you again, Florent. Is it your turn to take care of Navia now?
Hey, I can totally take care of myself. For the time being, I'll go around without any attendance. We did hand over some of Malus's old responsibilities to Florent, though. It's been really nice to have him around to help out.
Thank you for the compliment, boss. As you see, I've been working closely with the boss on rebuilding Poisson. Mr. Malus was an extremely capable and respected member of the Spina. I've got some really big shoes to fill.
All right. There's no need to be so formal. Everyone's practically old friends by now. Were you waiting here for me? Did we manage to make any progress on the statue?
Yeah, we contacted a sculptor about the job, but they can't get started on sourcing a correctly sized block without knowing the design that we want to use first.
You're commissioning a statue?
So basically, we've been meaning to commission a statue of my parents in commemoration of everything they've done for the Spina and the town of Poisson. But since my father was known as Callus the Unfaithful for the longest time, it would have been too controversial to commission a statue of him. But now that his name has been cleared, and the town is also being rebuilt, I thought this would be the perfect chance to actually realize this dream.
The funds to build the statue were freely donated by the people of Poisson to show their appreciation for Miss Clementine and Mr. Callus and everything they did.
Me? I'm just the newbie president that's running around and causing everyone trouble. Maybe we can have this conversation again in a few decades, once I've done more for the town and the people.
Hey, there's no need to be so humble. Didn't you just help save the entire country?
I agree wholeheartedly. I also believe that Boss should have a place on the statue.
Hey, if you keep inflating my ego like this, I might just float off into the sky with my parasol. Just kidding. There's no way that I'd accept that kind of compliment at face value. At a minimum, I'd have to match what my... Thanks for the vote of confidence. Anyway, Florent, now it's up to us to confirm...
We can ask the sculptor to start looking for a good block, but we haven't had any real discussions yet on the possible designs. I feel like I should get a...
There's no need for all that. Hey, you! Come over here with me. Modeling a few poses, of course. Here. Didn't you say on the boat that Callus and Clementine sounded like great partners? Florent, let's grab...
You've got it, boss.
Well, what do you think? Got any ideas? Well, I've actually discussed it a bit with Florent before, but I could never come up with any fresh or original, so I want to pick your brain for a bit and see...
I'm all good here, boss. Feel free to start posing whenever.
By that, do you mean as if we were standing on a boat and looking out at the sea? Sure, let's give that a try.
Whoa, you really remind Paimon of a captain and their first mate.
Look over there, my dear Clementine. As you can see, every tree on that island is dripping with mora fruit.
But there's something off with the composition. This pose makes Mr. Callus look too tall next to the lady.
Oh, I see what you mean. Then let's swap.
Well, Paimon is a fan. A statue like this would...
Wait, but we can't do that. Very few people would see the statue if we were to put it on a boat.
But then, since we're putting it in the town, the whole point of the pose would be lost.
Oh, okay. We'll try to think of something else.
A happy pose? You mean something...
Would all that be able...
Would we even be able to tell what they are supposed to be laughing about?
Yeah, and that'd probably be a massive pain to sculpt as well.
Could one of you try striking a pose like you're... That actually sounds pretty hard to pull off. Forget it!
Imposing, huh? Oh, I've got it. Let's try this.
This pose! It makes me
But isn't Clementine's pose a bit too bold and heroic? if we were to stick with this pose, maybe...
Well, tabloids did indeed speculate as much back in the day, but the Spina pulled a few strings.
Oh, Paimon was just kidding! Please don't make Paimon disappear.
What Florent meant was that we asked the journalist to choose a new... You're right, though, that this may not accurately represent the image of her in our heart.
We tried a bunch of different ideas, but none of them felt right. Paimon's all...
Oh, don't worry. We still got a lot of reference shots out of the session, and each of them can be considered to be a suit. Man, if I knew I was going to do a photo shoot with the... Oh, outfits! Oh, that's the errand I forgot back in the city. Do either of you still remember that girl? The girl I went...
Oh, Paimon remembers her. She was the one that we met while investigating Mr. Callus's case, right?
Yes, that's exactly who I'm talking about. So, after I said that it's fine, but young children are not allowed to join the Spina. She will just have to wait a few years, and then we'll welcome her with open arms. Since she's still a child, though, she thought I was just trying to let her down gently. But how could I get her to believe that I meant what I said? But I got so busy and distracted in the city that...
Don't worry, boss. I can send someone to pick...
On the matter of the statue, we should still come up with a few...
We could have just done that from the start. Yeah, you're right. They'll have some...
Navia! Florent, guess who's back?
Huh?
Oh, well, if it isn't Coulter. Back already from the fortress.
That's right. I finally... After I got out, I immediately made a beeline back to Poisson. You could say that familiar brine... You wouldn't believe how much I've missed Melissa's grilled fish. I dreamed about it every time I had to get a welfare meal down there underneath the sea.
It's good to have you back, Coulter.
And
Let me introduce you. This is Coulter, another of Spina di Rosula's members. He was found guilty and sentenced to the time ago. But, looking at it now, it was probably another one of Marcel's plots while he worked at the Confrérie of Cabrières.
Wait, Mr. Marcel? What do you...
Have you not heard anything at all about the water from the
Well, I know that Fontaine got flooded, but then the water levels miraculously receded.
Oh, looks like we'll have to explain. First things first, let me introduce you to these two. They're my most trusted partners, and they've been with me through thick and thin. Now you could call them Spina di Rosula's VIP helpers.
Oh, nice to meet you. I don't recall Navia ever generously complimenting anyone like that before. So you must be pretty amazing to get that from her.
yeah, we are indeed pretty amazing.
Humble again as always, I see. Even when I was totally sincere with—
Nice. Spina di Rosula always seems to attract great people. Oh, that reminds me. Where are Malus and Silver? Aren't they always by—
About that.
Coulter, a lot of things happened while you were gone. As you can see...
They lost their lives, keeping me safe during the flood.
What did you say? This isn't some kind of morbid welcome home prank, right? You're just scaring me on purpose because I don't know anything about what's happened.
I'm sorry, but it's the truth. They weren't the only people we lost either. Many others, including Melissa, also lost their lives.
Malus and Melissa, dead. They're just gone? Malus, I was planning to give him a surprise gift once.
Hey, keep it together.
Malus and Coulter were friends for many years, and even served on many missions together during the early days of the Spina.
Let's sit down somewhere, so I can tell you everything that has happened while you were gone. Fair warning.
Okay.
Take it easy.
All of this, it's unbelievable. I can't believe that those stories were real.
I think you and I both feel the same way about the profound tragedy of Melusa's loss. And the sheer depravity of Marcel's actions.
I thought Mr. Marcel would always stand by the Spina. Everything, it's unconscionable to have received all that, and yet still plot to kidnap and dissolve you for his insane research.
The good news is that the Confrérie of Cabriere is no more. Gone with them too is the entire synth manufacturing industry. We finally closed the curtain on that long struggle.
Are you sure? But if Marcel wanted to rebel against us, he probably sent word in secret to Romeu.
Rome who?
Not a name I've heard before.
Florent should remember him. You see, there was once a major internal dispute regarding funding the construction of the aquabus lines. Romeu was the leader of the faction that thought such a vast sum of mora would be better spent improving the town of Poisson. But Mr. Callis believed that an opportunity to collaborate with the Court of Fontaine and the Fontaine Research Institute was hard to come by, and would allow. Not only would the aquabus be a good business investment, it would also boost our reputation among the general populace, eventually paying us massive dividends down the line. But the two couldn't come to an agreement. Romeu ended up taking a lot of people with him when he left Spino di Rosula altogether.
And with Papa's stubbornness, I can definitely imagine how—
And of course, when he was suffering the slings and arrows of outrageous injustice, those relationships that he spent a fortune to build didn't help.
Yeah, you could say it was the price he paid for sticking to his beliefs.
Oh, that's a good point. If Callis was really as stubborn as you say, then wouldn't he have argued with the rank and file all the time?
Oh yeah, it eventually became a thing that just happened on every day that ended with Y. But Navia, Bob, used to be a lot better with taking counsel. With him listening to our advice, and Ms. Clementine also frequently on our side. But on the matter of the aquabus, even Ms. Clementine completely stood by Mr.
I never knew. But from my perspective—
I think the aquabus was just the straw that they believed that Miss Clementine lost her ability to serve as an impartial mediator when she became pregnant with
So they thought she had— But that doesn't make any sense. Before she was their mediator, my mom—
Yeah, but to them, even taking a side was betrayal enough. They felt like their voices could no longer be heard once their sole mediator had gone. Of course, Ms. Clementine then passed away, and Mr. Callis began to regard the completion of the aquabus project as her final wish. With that—
So that's what happened.
From that point on, Romeu and his people cut ties with the Spina, and never gave us any kind of professional or personal courtesy ever again. Perhaps they've regarded us as enemies ever since they left. But even so, there is still no proof that they ever acted in concert with Marcel.
I've also heard that they aren't in a good financial position, so they've been lying low for a while. But as long as they exist, they'll continue to be a threat.
I think Coulter's got a point. Both Marcel and Romeu had my father in their sights for a very— Even though Marcel's faction has been dissolved, we still don't know anything about Romeu's whereabouts. If they're still trying to get with how distracted and vulnerable we are, now would be—
Good thinking, boss. We should keep an eye on them at all times.
Thank you for that, Florent. And Coulter, thank you for telling—
Don't worry, it's nothing. Do you have a moment right now? I've heard so many incredulous things today. I'm finding it a bit hard to calm down even now.
In that case, why don't we go back to the court? I can pick up Adele's uniform while we're there as well. It'll save Laurent's guys a trip. Want to come with me again, you two?
Of course. That's fine.
Then let's go! Paimon feels like a lot's hinging on this.
We really are the best of partners. Come on.
Are we not taking the boat this time?
It's nice to walk from time to time, isn't it? Think of it as something like a hiking trip. Once we're there, we can stay a few days before we return.
Sounds good. I haven't walked this road in a long time.
Take it easy.
Help! Ouchie!
Really? Game's up. Fun's over.
Here you are.
Well, we've walked far enough for now. Let's take a break. Since we're out for a walk, we shouldn't stress too much about the destination.
I've grown old, so I'm not as fit as before.
Well, Paimon thinks you're doing great. We didn't have...
Back in the days before the aquabus lines were built, Malus and I must have traveled this way hundreds of times. When we were tired, we would lay down for a while, and the Spina was still on the rise back then. Mr. Callus was generous, and everyone had the chance to... And now, in the blink of an eye, the aquabus lines have been built, and this road has fallen. Oh, I know.
Then let's stay here.
Oh, is this another chance to try some of Navia?
Wait. Let me check if I have all the ingredients. Okay. Seems like we're all out of flour and sugar. Oh,
We should contribute to making the macaron too. Don't...
oh, that's
Then I'll go look for some boxes.
great. How did it... You've all done your part. Just...
Whoa, these macarons look and taste...
Boss's baking skills have always been famous. Everyone in the Spina knows.
Oh, it's just...
Have you two seriously never considered joining us? You're so close to the boss, and she obviously trusts... Oh, I see.
You just happened to walk in on our little reunion. Adventurers never stay in one place for long. Besides, after everything we've been through together, I'm sure our hearts would remain intertwined even if we found ourselves on opposite...
Even if Paimon was far beyond the horizon, she'd still remember the delicious...
I understand now. Then I am very lucky indeed to have been... I will endeavor to make the most of this short yet fortuitous encounter.
We've got no wine with us, but let's still toast with water.
Cheers! Hey, what are you doing? Quick!
May your travels go smoothly. May this... All set? Let's move out then. I asked some old acquaintances in town to make Adele's uniform, so we should be able to pick it up right away.
This may hurt a little.
Hey there, Ludovine. How's business?
Not
My mistake, my mistake. Are you here for the uniform?
Yep. I forgot to drop by.
I didn't expect them.
Navia's always liked to take even...
Hey, that's not the only reason I'm here. There are few things more uplifting.
Very well. Please, wait here.
Can someone Adele wants to join the Spina?
She hasn't given me any concrete. After we cleared her father's name, she became a lot more cheerful and she said she used to be terrified of Papa. So, as a result, but the Spina is very different now. She mustered up the courage to talk. Yeah, you could say that. By uncovering the she said that she wanted to become someone like me. Someone who could lend.
From the sound of it, she'll be a wonderful...
I think so too. But for now, let's focus on giving her a great atmosphere to grow and thrive. She can commit to us once she's older, and can really make that
Is something up, Traveler? Huh? Tailing? Oh, Paimon...
I'll go check it out too. Coulter, please hold on to this for me.
all right.
Paimon saw them too! They headed up!
Stop right there!
We knew you were going to be difficult!
Seems like if we want them to talk,
Brothers, there's no need to skulk in the dark anymore.
just you wait.
Quietly now.
Now, talk.
Don't think we'll let you off easy if you keep silent.
How did it go, boss? All right.
If you thought they stood anyway, stop playing
Wait, we're looking. We were discovered. And can't
get revenge?
you actually know that name? But if you do, then surely you should understand why we hate you so.
Indeed. You haven't got the...
We were out drinking when we saw Navia. Too bad you guys messed up ours first. Huh? You're pretty sharp. But so what? We didn't do anything. Seeing you like that just really ticked us off.
Listen, Callus is long dead. I am the current president of Spina di Rosula. If your boss wants to, I won't press charges for your attack. That should also...
I understand.
But if you so much as think about pulling something like this again...
All right. We get it.
Are you sure it's okay to just...
I don't want to inherit my father's grudges, too. If the other side is willing to talk, I'm happy to open...
I support boss's decision as well. The concept of an...
Yes. Plus, I still think we should keep an eye out for so. Then we could still have a...
Yeah, those guys definitely didn't...
I'd rather things not go that far, since... Though we haven't talked to each other for years, once upon a time...
Yep, that's how I feel as well. Anyway, now that we've sent them packing, we don't have to worry about... It's getting late already. So why don't we stay the night in the Fleuve? I'll also ask someone to write Florent a letter and inform him of everything that happened here today, so he can increase security around Poisson and be...
Do we have to stay in the Fleuve Sonde again? Even the pillows there smell like...
Sorry, that's just what happens when you live near water and don't... We can still go out in the evening.
Huh. That does sound pretty cool. Coming back here really does feel like this place is starting to grow on Paimon. If you think about it, it would be kind of weird if the Spina's base at the court was some super luxurious...
Totally. Although, of course, with the continued growth of the Spina, he was a very ambitious man who rarely looked behind or beneath him.
And that's also why people hated him just as...
All right. Why don't you go wait for me at the restaurant? I'll go do some prep and you can use the same room as last time. You still remember the room number?
Yep. Kinda hard to forget when there are only so many rooms.
Taking a dig at Fleuve Cendre? I'll tell my guys to stuff your pillows full of actual seaweed right now.
Oh, Paimon, sorry! Please have mercy, Navia, if you do that.
I was... Hello? Are you asleep yet? Oh, no, not at all. I just figured that since we want to go fishing, I've got some rods.
Oh, so that's the prep you were talking about.
Hopefully I didn't wake you. I knew it. Okay, let's go.
Fishing when you're using...
What's the problem? Lots...
But shouldn't fishing be all about...
Well, that's one way to enjoy fishing. What do you think, Traveler? Then, let's try regular rods next time.
Honestly, Paimon's mainly shocked at how much energy you still have at this hour. Usually by this time...
It might just be something that runs...
That's a thing?
I'm sure you'd get even sleepier if I delved more deeply into it. Anyway, I was just thinking about how grateful I am to... My father always had a lot of unrealistic expectations for me. But the more that he tried to get me to become like him, the less I wanted... My mother never had those kinds of expectations, though. I've heard that she had only one wish for me, which was all the members of the Spina greatly respected her wish. So no matter what... Can you imagine? Whenever my father no matter what Papa yelled, nobody else would say a word. Eventually, Papa must have recognized scolding me over...
Paimon would have never guessed.
Yeah. Looking back on it now as an adult, I can hardly believe how... When I was young, I often thought that I could do whatever I wanted. Because at once, I saw Malus come back wounded. He wouldn't tell me how he'd been injured, but I could tell. I learned then that there's always a cost to making a mistake. The more you care about those around you, the more you should, because if you do falter, there'll inevitably come a time when you'll have to face the consequences. And when that time comes, those most precious to you really will throw themselves in front of you and pay the price for your mistakes. Sorry. I shouldn't have brought that up. Basically, I was just saying that the nurturing atmosphere of the Spina must have been... And if that's the only way that I can continue to feel...
Is that why you let those guys...
Although, maybe there's a part of not wanting to repeat the mistakes of the past. Hey, look! I think you've got something on the...
But why isn't the rod automatic?
Oh, there must be something wrong with how I installed the We can't let it get away. Come on, you two.
You want Paimon to help too?
stop wasting time! The boss ain't gonna wait. We'll go ahead with the operation tomorrow. Do with that in...
Well, your rod was missing a part too, so...
Well, if we're just talking about the number of missing parts, sure. Oh, never mind. Paimon really...
All right. Go to bed. So how was like...
Paimon drink?
Huh.
See? This guy
Anyway, let's head out. I'll arrange for a boat to take us back to Poisson. I'm sure Adele...
Paimon hopes she'll really
I hope so too. Adele, we're back! We brought you a gift from the court, too.
Whoa! Thank you so much.
Don't call her boss, okay, Adele? Just...
Oh, it's all right. I don't mind.
It's been a while!
Oh, it's you two. It has been a while indeed. I've heard that you also helped save all of Fontaine.
You're really amazing! And if Miss Navia's your friend, then what's in this?
Of course.
Oh, it's...
Well, it's a gift for future you. When you first... But it's the Spina's responsibility to protect everyone as well. Being a member means becoming involved in all kinds of dangerous situations, so I turned you down the...
Oh, so that's it!
But you can't really grow up faster by working hard.
Everyone, I'm really grateful that you remember. Thanks to the protection of the Spina. Even though...
Oh, it's the least we could do. As long as you live in Poisson, even if you're not...
Boss!
Huh? Is something up, Florent?
I've got something urgent to report. Romeu and his folks have gathered outside...
What?
It seems like they've been planning this for some time. But Romeu and his folks must have gotten wind as well. Because they abandoned their former posts before we could even... We investigated their tracks and found...
They have smartened up since we caught them red-handed?
Seems like they've got no interest in sitting down and talking at all.
Sorry, I underestimated the situation.
On the hill to the east of Poisson, near the Clementine line.
They want to blow up the Clementine line?
Certainly sounds like it.
Romeu and his followers hate the Spina, and everything... If they manage to blow up the Aquabus line, all that rubble will come crashing down the hill and...
Are they insane? There's tons of innocent people!
Yeah. If they've been planning this for ages, they're definitely... We have to issue an evacuation order to the townspeople.
Let's get everyone on...
My dear partner, if the explosives do go off, not only would the people of Poisson be in danger, any Aquabus... Let's stop their insanity first. Then settle the score with them.
Leave it to us, Navia.
Let's go, you two. We've got to act fast. Miss Coralie, please take Adele to the ship.
Watch out, boss! What do you think you're doing, Coulter?
I thought all the annoying little hindrances had left, but
You mean this was all a trick? So that you'd be left alone with me? Oh. I get it now. You knew about their...
Not quite. Though I share their position, and that's because out of the entire
You better stick close to me.
Romeu promised me that he would leave Poisson alone if I could just take you out. But it was like you were glued at the hip to that pesky traveler. You never gave me a Romeo has lost his patience. I didn't have to be here today, you know. But I swore that I'd kill you, even if it...
Why?
Only someone as clueless about the past as you. What you never saw the heyday of Spina di Rosula. No, but I saw it all with my own eyes. And it was all because of Clementine died because of you. Callus died because of you. Malus and Silver died because of you. And so many...
So the shock and grief you showed us before.
Now you're catching on. Did you know? Down there in that blasted fortress, I spent a long time back then because of that aqua bus. We had a huge fallout. I was convinced that all the years passed by in a blur after that. I thought I had... But then he died! And it was because of you again, Navia! It's always because of you! I once loved the Spina and Poisson more than anyone else. But what is left now of either besides death and ruin? You've singled...
Don't listen to him, boss! He's just...
Have you ever considered that maybe the people around you don't actually care? Have you ever considered that maybe you only get respect because you're Callus and Clementine's child? That you've never done anything worthy? That you're just a big nothing? Have you ever considered that? Maybe people don't stay in Poisson because of you, but only...
Because if you do falter, there'll inevitably come a time when you'll have to face the consequences. And when that time comes, those most precious... Yeah, but is that really why they support me?
Shut your mouth! I, for one, really like Miss Navia. I don't know how to explain it.
I'm sure Mr. Malus would be extremely disappointed in you. You've somehow managed to pin the blame for every mistake in...
Get out of the way, Florent!
You're gonna have to! Boss, there's no time for this!
Maybe you think you're being the realist by but the love that I felt from everyone was just as real. And even now, I will continue to believe in that love. So let me show you just how much I love...
Coming at ya! Hey there! Hiya! Coming at ya! Fire! Well, with rocks. Hey there! Hey there! Fire! Well, with rocks.
Laurent, I'll leave the town to you. If you find any of Coulter's accomplices, subdue them quickly. And I can't allow my partner to face the danger on the Clementine.
Got it, boss. I'm on it. Are you okay, Navia?
I don't know.
Let's hurry up there! We have to protect the Clementine line! If they're gonna blow up the waterway, they must have planted the explosive...
Let's... Gotcha! Things are about to get dicey.
Our bond is strong!
I see everything! They certainly brought a lot of muscle. They're really slowing us down! But if we're meeting resistance, we must be heading in the right direction. Everyone hold hands!
Dissipate!
Here comes the catch. Quietly now. Take it easy.
These must be the explosives, right? And this is the control mechanism! Oh, Paimon's too scared to touch any of this stuff. Huh? There's a strangely shaped hole here. What is... Oh, that certainly sounds possible. Okay, you take this side, Paimon will take... Let me turn this guy over. Oh, he's super heavy. Oh, you found it! That's amazing! That should do it, right? Navia and Florent should be able to relax now. Oh, you're right. They're gonna bury Poisson!
Great work, partner. Just leave the rest to me.
Watch out, Navia! You can't block them all!
Block. I'm doing this the Spina way.
I heard from Thierry that even they're your enemies now. They were once a part of Spina di Risula. Do you...
I have nothing more. Regardless of whether their hatred and anger towards me or the Spina was justified, anyone who's willing to please prosecute them in accordance to the law.
Sounds good. We're very appreciative of... All right, this operation is a wrap. Take him...
We won, Navia! We saved everyone!
Yeah. Luckily, we were... It's probably because I expended too much elemental and...
But you usually glow up whenever other people compliment you.
Boss, we managed to catch all the infiltrators in the town. Seems like Romeo really went all in on this mission. If he sent literally everyone he had, though, that also...
Got it. Coulter, I can understand how you feel. The things that I am not callous, and I will also never become him. The Spina and the Poisson but I will not change how I feel about our future. I will spend more of what the Spina earns on the betterment of Poisson. What's more, I'd also like to propose some changes to the Aquabus route so that one day the people of Poisson...
I know what you're trying to say. There are too many things in life that are just beyond our control.
Henceforth. But once you're discharged from the fortress...
Thank you. Not...
As I thought.
She is also, I must say... Thank you for protecting the Clementine line. I was actually really scared, you know. I mean, if I'd lost the Clementine line too, I wouldn't know how... A name is a way to etch a memory onto the world. Losing the line that bears her name, seeing it still standing there.
What happened while we were gone?
Just give her some time.
Traveler, I want to ask you something. And please, tell me the truth. Do you really see me as your partner?
Of course.
That's good then. Hearing that, it brings me more relief than I can say.
How do you feel, Navia?
I feel quite a bit better. But I should probably... Sorry, partner. I said some weird things earlier. I used to think that I'd never doubt myself. Coulter mentioned my parents. As well, do you think... they ever regretted?
Don't think like that, Navia. You've already done more than... No matter what others think, we'll always support you to the end of the world.
Well, since it's ended up like this, there's something that I've been keeping from you as well, boss.
Florent, I hope you can understand.
Don't worry. This...
Why is everyone gathered here? And what's...
This was supposed to be a gift to you from everyone in the town. We were originally planning to show it to you once it was finished, but special times call for special measures. I've never seen you look...
do I really look that bad?
Well, if you're ready, I'll unveil the present.
Papa! Mother!
We designed the look for Miss Clementine based on old camera records, as well as
Wow!
It is indeed. To be honest, we decided we only asked Boss to decide on a design, so she...
How could we only have statues of Mr.
Even though Boss is still young, we've all seen the work she's put.
We wanted to commemorate her contributions.
I don't know what Spina di Rosalia...
With Navia,
We're gathered here today that we support you and believe in you
That's what we believe as well!
Thank you so much, This really is quite the... I never thought that I'd have the chance to stand next to my mother. Not even in my wildest dreams.
It seems like looking back on it, I'm honestly embarrassed. You know, I've thought about it before. Though my mother, even though my parents, the Aquabus project, I think that's probably why she...
take it easy.
Add Ast. Thank you for. Add Ast.
I'll think about it. There'll be an extra fee for that.
Exactly, but none of them believed me.